Reggae. A rhythm that shook the world. A sound born from struggle, faith, survival, and rebellion. What began in the crowded yards of Kingston, Jamaica, would eventually echo across continents, inspiring revolutions, calling for justice, and healing hearts. But how did reggae begin? Where did it come from? And how did a tiny island create one of the most powerful musical movements on Earth? Today, we go back to where it all started. Welcome to my YouTube channel, where the most captivating stories come to life. Before there was reggae, there was something ancient. A heartbeat passed down through generations, the African drum. When enslaved Africans were brought to Jamaica, they carried more than chains. They carried rhythm, spiritual chants, and ancestral memory. Out of these traditions came Nyabinghi drumming, slow, deep, hypnotic beats, used in Rastafarian ceremonies. These early sounds would become the spiritual backbone of reggae. Then came the 1940s and 50s. Jamaicans tuned into powerful radio stations from the United States. Big band, jazz, and especially rhythm and blues flooded the island. Local sound system operators, like Sir Coxsone Dodd and Duke Reid, amplified American R&B at street parties, inspiring young Jamaican musicians to create their own sound. The first Jamaican modern music style was born: ska. Ska exploded in the early 1960s. It was fast, upbeat, and brassy, the soundtrack of optimism as Jamaica celebrated independence in 1962. The rhythm hit like a shot of adrenaline. A young band called the Skatalites led the movement, blending Caribbean mento with American R&B, trumpet lines, and the famous offbeat guitar, skank. Ska was the sound of a new nation, joyful, proud, and unstoppable. But as the decade progressed, the mood shifted. Poverty, violence, political conflict, and economic unrest darkened Jamaica's streets. And so the music changed. By 1966, the tempo slowed. The bass grew deeper. The lyrics became more emotional. This new style was called rocksteady. It was smoother, soulful, romantic, but also socially aware. Rocksteady introduced the dominant bass line, which would later define reggae. Hits like "The Tide is High" by the Paragons and "Take It Easy" shaped the era. Most importantly, rocksteady produced a young group that would transform music forever. The Wailers, Bob Marley, Tosh, and Wailer. They took the consciousness of Rastafari, the cry for justice, and began shaping the sound that would become reggae. Then came 1968, the year everything changed. A new rhythm emerged from Kingston streets. Slower than ska, heavier than rocksteady, driven by deep bass, sharp snares, and the iconic offbeat chop. The word for this new beat? Reggae. Some say it came from the word streggae, meaning a raggedy person. Others say it came from Toots Hibbert of Toots and the Maytals, who popularized the term with the song "Do the Reggae." Reggae was raw. Reggae was real. It told the truth about poverty, inequality, and political violence. Producers like Lee Scratch Perry, Coxsone Dodd, and King Tubby pushed the sound into new territory. Ghetto youth finally had a voice, and the world was about to hear it. In the early 1970s, reggae broke free from Jamaica's borders. The man who carried it to the world was Bob Marley. With the Wailers and later under Island Records, Marley released songs that spoke to the human soul. Get Up, Stand Up, No Woman, No Cry, Redemption Song, One Love. He sang about oppression, unity, spirituality, and freedom. His music became a global revolution, bridging races, cultures, and religions. Marley became the face of reggae, but many other legends shaped its rise. Tosh, fierce, political, unfiltered. Burning Spear, spiritual and haunting. Culture, prophetic and powerful. Jimmy Cliff, the voice behind "The Harder They Come." Reggae became more than music. It became identity. It became resistance. It became a global movement. In the late 1970s and 80s, reggae evolved again. Dub emerged, a remix culture pioneered by King Tubby and Scientist. They stripped vocals, boosted bass, and added echo and reverb, creating psychedelic soundscapes that influenced hip-hop, electronic music, and modern production. Then came dancehall. Faster, sharper, digital. Artists like Yellowman, Shabba Ranks, and Buju Banton brought a new era. Today, reggae continues. Reggae Revival with Chronics, Protoge, and Coffee. International reggae in Europe, Africa, and the Americas. Reggae rhythms in Afrobeats, pop, and hip-hop. The roots are Jamaican, but the branches now touch the entire world. Reggae was born from struggle, but it speaks life. It came from poverty, but gave the world hope. It emerged from a tiny island, but transformed global culture. Reggae is more than a genre. It is consciousness. It is spirituality. It is resistance. It is love. And as long as hearts beat, as long as voices rise for justice, as long as people dream of freedom, reggae will live on forever. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more captivating stories from history.